everyone! So now we're going to focus on the concepts of wet and dry. There are multiple ways of doing this. Here are just a couple of examples that are simple. One way I've chosen to demonstrate this is by using two toys that I can get wet. A paper towel is optional. Alright. Right now, both of my toys are dry. See, they're dry. I'm gonna pour water on one of my toys, and it's wet. See, it's wet. This one is dry. Didn't pour water on it, it's dry. See, I'm pouring water on it. It's wet. Wet and dry. See, wet and dry. Wet, dry. Here, see this? Now I'm gonna wipe the wet toy, see? And now it's dry. They're both dry. Now they're both wet. You and your child can also just use your hands. See this? It's wet! Look, it's wet. This one, this is dry. See, wet and dry. Wet. This one is dry. Put water on my hand and it's wet. No water on this hand. This is dry. Wet and dry. I'm gonna wipe off my wet hand. Now they're both dry. All dry. Now they're both wet. You guys could look for things that are wet and dry. See this plant? It's wet. There's water on it. It's wet. See? It's wet. Look at here. It's dry. There's no water on it. It's dry. See, this is wet and dry. Wet, wet, dry, dry. Here is wet. See, it's wet. But over there, over here, it's dry. It's dry over here, but it's wet. Dry and wet.